Haha! It is working. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Lazy Mini Painting. Now, as much as the title says, this is my last stream, it's slightly not right, because it's not my last stream, it's just going to be my last combat patrol. I've just got to wait for this to tell me I is live, so I can come and join you all in portrait mode as it catches itself up. There we go, that should do it. Okay. So good evening, everybody. I hope everyone's having a nice night tonight and had a good week so far this week. Hello. Mika, hello. Yeah, it is with sad regret that I'm having to stop the combat patrol issues after this. Well, after last week, actually. I was saving last week's for this week because it was a double issue. And once again, they didn't arrive. Well, it didn't arrive. This issue didn't arrive. Which makes it a little bit more difficult to keep going if you can't keep getting the magazine. So I do have last week's issue, which is issue 75, which is sat here unopened with half of the, what are they called? The field ordnance battery. So I've only got half a field ordnance battery at the moment, which is not nice. Good evening, Evelyn. Good evening. I hope everybody is doing alright. So I will open this issue tonight, as it will be my last issue, and see what we get with it. So it's combat issue 75. We're supposed to have got field ordnance batteries. Now I've got one. So I have the chassis there for one. I have the guys to go on it. I have the weapons and the mounts for one of them. The problem is they come in squads of bloody 2. And it didn't arrive today. I went down this morning as I normally would, and it was not there. It wasn't supposed to have been arrived. It wasn't on their date on their sheet for deliveries. It was never going to arrive, so I was never going to get it. Which leaves me with a lot of nice spare bits. Don't get me wrong. I've got cannons. I've got missile launchers. I've got las cannon. I've got lots of nice bits that can be used for all sorts of other things. But I don't think I've got enough to put everything together, because I should be able... Oh, no, I might have, actually. But I should be able to have 2 of these and 2 of these. And I've only got enough to do 1 of each. And in fairness, I wanted to run both as this. It's not good. It's not good. I'm not sure why my chat is not catching me up, but it is not. It's not popping up anywhere. That's not good. So I'm going to have to keep looking at my phone just to make sure I catch, because everyone's chatting on portrait mode at the moment, which is fine, but it's just not popping up on my screen for some strange, bizarre reasons. No, it's not clickbait, Graham. This is going to be my last combat patrol. Now, I did say it last time when they missed the second half of a 2-parter, that if it happened again, I'm not going to continue. Because I missed the Wraith Lord. They didn't get that. There was another unit that I missed half of. I can't remember what it was, but it was a 2-parter, and the second part didn't arrive. So I couldn't complete that one. And again, with this one, the second part has not arrived. So I can't complete it. I can't complete the unit. I can't cover the issue. So I will not be buying them anymore. So next week, I will not be doing Combat Patrol at all. When it comes to what I've got left to do and collect, obviously I have got the World Eaters that are still what I finished a 2,000 point army of. I'm just going to buy them separate. I'm just going to buy the boxes and just build the units. It's going to be easier. So just as the last one, what did we get from Combat Patrol issue 75? By the looks of it, we've got a few data sheets and a few data cards. So we have the data cards for the Atalan Jackals, which I won't be getting. The Cadian Heavy Weapons Squads, which I've already got 2 full sets of. So I've got a set of las cannons and a set of heavy bolters. I already have an armoured sentinel. I don't have the field ordnance batteries because, as I said, there are 2 of them. So I don't have that. Nor does it have the rules for the weapons that I would put on it in the first place anyway. New Tau suits are not coming till next edition, as far as I know. That's as far as I know anyway, Micah. It's going to be next edition before we get any Tau stuff now. I might be wrong. I get my information probably from a lot of the sources like most people do, which is Valrak, which is the main one. But as far as I'm aware, nothing new until the 11th edition. We have got some stat sheets for the Khorne stuff that will be coming though. So we do have the Khorne Berserkers, which I've pretty much set up on. Yeah, if I do it next time, I'd have to go direct through Hachette, and problem is then Hachette's entering sets of 4, and I'll be 2 weeks behind and 2 weeks ahead, and 2 weeks behind and 2 weeks ahead. I know how they worked for that, and it's not fun. Oh, and I've got to get a Mauler Fiend as well. So of everything that I've got that I'm not going to be getting now, I do need to get a Lord on Juggernaut, which is one of these little chappies. Exactly, the 4 issues for the Berserkers, and you can imagine what happens if you only get the first issue of both of them and don't get the second issue for both of them. That's not even half a unit of Berserkers out of 2 issues. That is absolutely horrible. That is absolutely horrible. I do not wish to be doing that. Antilia, hello. Hello, welcome to joining. Thank you for coming to join us. As I said, this is the last Combat Patrol issue, so I've got a load of data cards for command squads and Cadian shock troops, and a few more scenery cards, and essentially rules for using certain units that I will never get because they're incompetent and can't send a simple magazine out on time to a shop that has been selling it every week since it has come out. They can't send it to that shop. Don't know why. It's 3 times it's happened. Can't. Unreliable. Can't do it. So as I said, the last one I will be doing will be this one. Now I'm going to skip the build guide completely. This is just going to be a really one, hopefully. And it might not even be that. There's not even that much reading to do in this one. And the story is the Bonds of Honor. Of all stories he could have put in, he's put in Bonds of Honor, which is part 19, which I've not been reading because I wanted everybody who was collecting the magazine to have at least one story to read themselves. So it is up to part 19 of the Silver Templars' little story. Now I've got no idea what's happening in this. And I've got no idea how it's going to come to fruition or an end. Which is not good. It is not good at all. So this issue will tell you how to build your actual heavy weapons platforms. Which, as I thought, I only get enough for 1 heavy weapons platform per issue. No sign. What are we doing? We're complaining about Hachette Partworks, how they've not sent... This is last week's issue, and they've not sent this week's issue. And I won't be collecting it anymore because they're very unreliable. But I'm trying to figure out where I take this issue up from, because normally I would build. And I would have done the building this morning, so the first part would have been gone up, and then I'll be up to just the reading part. Again, the Bonds of Honor, which I have not been reading because it's the big long story that's been going through each issue. If anyone has those sets and they wish to send them to me to read, by all means, but I will need from issue 1 upwards, because I've been chucking all mine away. So let's see, if you have managed to build these field ordnance batteries that they have asked you to build in the last issue and this issue, as per usual, they ask us to name them, or at least giving us some kind of indication of what they're called. So you roll 2d6. If you get, on the first one, if you get a 1 or a 2, it is Thundering Charlie. 3 or 4 gives you Big Brenda. 5 or 6 is Little Anne. And your second result is either Roaring Bess, Green Gertrude, or Blasting Bobby. So it's Little Anne and Blasting Bobby, Big Brenda, Green Gertrude, Thundering Charlie, Roaring Bess, and any combination that you've rolled between them. That's what you'll roll for the names of your gunnery crew. It does give us a data sheet for the gunnery crew as well. So let's see what they actually do. Well, let's see what this unit that I'm never going to actually be able to use is going to be able to do. And how much am I going to miss it? So it has a 4-inch move, which is not very much, let's face it. Toughness 5, which is better than you'll get out of most infantry models from the Imperial Guard. 4+ save, which is still better than an Imperial Guard save, can't complain at that. It has 6 wounds. Now that is a lot. 6 wounds per base. So you've got 2 bases, that's 12 wounds, that's a lot to take out. A leadership of 7, which is about average, and an OC of 2, which isn't great on a 2 base unit, because that gives it a full OC of 4. A 5-man OC 1 squad can take over, so that's not good. But what do we get as? Well, it gives us 2 options. It gives us 2 options, which I'm hoping are essentially these 2. That'll be the cannon and the missile launcher. So we get the Bombast field gun. That is what I'm going to guess is the straight cannon. It's got the blast, heavy, and indirect keywords. Range is 48 inches. Ooh, that's nice. D6 attacks, which is a bit swingy, but okay. Hitting on 5s unless you stay still, then it's hitting on 4s. Strength 7, -1 AP, and 2 damage. That's not bad. Pardon me. The -1 AP isn't great, but the 2 damage, the range, and the strength is definitely going to help you punch through some elite infantry and definitely the light infantry. Of course, all the standard guardsmen are equipped with standard guardsman equipment: lasgun and las pistol, lasgun rapid fire 1, 24-inch ranges, which is not bad, because it's pretty standard. 1 attack, 2 attacks at 12 inches for the rapid fire rule. Hitting on 4s, strength 3, no AP, and damage 1. Las pistol's pretty much the same, but half the range, and has got the pistol keyword instead. Then we get the Malleus rocket launcher, which is this big thing here. Now that, just like the Bombast field gun, also has a 48-inch range. It has the blast and heavy rules, but does not have the indirect fire. That's not that great. Well, it's not as good, but attack-wise, it's a minimum of 7, so it's D6 plus 6. So you're always going to get 7 or higher. It's between 7 and 12, which is pretty damn good. Again, hitting on 5s unless you stay still, then it's hitting on 4s because of the heavy keyword. Strength 6, so it's still not too bad against elite infantry and some of the heavier infantries. For instance, it's wounding itself on 3 pluses with that one. -1 AP again, which isn't great, but it should do something if anything's out in the open. And 1 damage. Now, you've got the potential to double the shots from this as opposed to the field gun. So it can put out roughly the same amount of damage. Just that little niggly bit of strength is going to hold it back a little bit. So against a toughness 6 target, it's not going to be quite as good. It does have the basic melee weapons, which are 3 attacks, hitting on 4, strength 3, no AP, 1 damage. Basically a guardsman punching you in the face. Not going to do much. Patrol squads. Ooh. At the start of the declared battle formation steps, before any units have been set up, this unit can be split up into 2 units, each containing 1 model. So you do have to buy a unit, pay for a unit of 2 when you're paying in points, but you can combat squad them and split them, which is nice. That is nice. Did I miss anything on that? And did I miss it? No, I have not. Haha. So you can combat squad them and put one base over here and one base further over here somewhere, and they don't have to be in unit coherency. But you've got to do it at the setup step. They do also have an ability called rearm, reload, and fire. While this unit is being affected by an order, provided it remains stationary this turn, heavy weapons equipped by this model have the sustained hits 1 ability. For the rocket launcher and for the bombast field gun, that's nice. That's nice. You're hitting on 4s and you're getting sustained hits 1. So any 6s, yeah, any 6s are gonna help. It's not the last stream, Francois. It's the last Combat Patrol stream. So Wednesdays I won't be doing anymore because I'm not buying the magazine if he's not turning up. Which I'm gutted about as well, because I was looking forward to getting some extra units for my guard, finishing off the Genestealer Cultist with the Atalan Warriors, and then working into my Khorne army, which still needs finishing. It still needs about another 20 Berserkers, a Mauler Fiend, a Lord of Juggernaut. It needs a fair old chunk in my Khorne army, and I won't be getting that now through the magazine. So yes, it's just the Combat Patrol magazines, not my Models and Musings or my Thursday escapades is what I'm going to call the Thursdays. So they do give you a campaign to run with this. Sweeping Raid, so Core Mission 3, this is the one with all the weird places to set up. And it is against the Orcs. Okay. So I've got a feeling you're going to be using quite a lot. And then you get another one with the Votann. So, in a system overrun by the enemy, the soldiers of the Astra Militarum are desperately trying to hold their ground and, where the opportunity presents, take back positions that their enemies have seized. Each time they are afforded a reprieve, they are met with news that another nearby planet in the system is under attack or has fallen to enemy forces completely. Despite their forces being spread thin, the heroic troops have not given up. They will continue to fight until the last. Meanwhile, a band of Orcs have been drawn to the bloodshed and instability of the area. In the hopes of attracting more Orcs to his horde, the war boss is seeking the biggest fights against the hardest enemies he can find. Without any particular plan in mind, they are happy to take the opportunity to fight anyone, loot their stuff and smash up anything that someone else has built. Some of them have their fingers crossed that they can do all 3 at once. So in this one there is what looks to be A, B, C and D in regarding to your objectives. Now A is in the attacker's deployment zone here, 6 inches from, well, 16 inches from the very centre and then 6 inches down. And then C is 3 inches from the centre and 9 inches down. B is 3 inches from the centre and 9 inches up. And D is 16 inches from the centre and 6 inches up. So you have a good scattering of objective markers. And 1 in each deployment zone as well to start with, so you can plonk straight on it. I've not figured out what else to do on all this. Wednesdays is I've not figured out what to replace this with yet. So I have my Monday set up, I have my Thursday set up. I've not come to a conclusion what else I should do on a Wednesday now to replace this, because it was a very impromptu decision. Well, it wasn't an impromptu decision today. It was a decision that was made today, going off the last time that they've missed, last 2 issues that they've missed. Blake, good evening. Good evening. I hope they don't catch you from work. And thank you for the subscriber. Chromie Lover 2. Thank you very much. So you will play through this with the Astra Militarum being the attackers, the defenders being the orcs, and you will follow the guide from Core Mission 5. Well, the system begins to fill up with hostile forces, and the soldiers of the Astra Militarum are on the edge of being overwhelmed with too many of their foes pinned in place. In the hopes of a decisive victory, they mount a major raid on Orc territory. If they can make gains here, this will free up their forces and allow them to redeploy in other parts of the system where the enemy is still pressing in on them. So, by the sounds of it, you are going to be taking the Guardsman unit, you're going to take in the Command unit, and you're going to be taking the Field Ordnance. So it's 20 Guardsmen, Field Ordnance, and a Command Squad. Against a hell of a lot of orcs, to be quite honest. That doesn't seem fair. For the second campaign, it's against the Leagues of Votann. Now this one you're using Core Mission 2, which is a little bit easier set out. Similar layout to the objectives, so you've got one in each deployment zone, and then one in no man's land for each, and one in the very centre. So these are 3 objective line here, and then one here and one here. Again, starting one in your deployment zone does help. I believe Mason, I believe you've done something that you're not supposed to there, fella. So yeah, I don't think you're supposed to do whatever that was. So this is that's a very quick issue. If you are continuing to purchase these, obviously this week you were supposed to have got the second one of these, and next week you will receive full 3-man heavy weapon squad. A full 3-man heavy weapon squad in next week's issue. As I said, I've already got a las cannon version, and I already have the heavy weapons version, 3 of these. I don't have the auto cannon, which they give you as the stat sheet, and I don't intend to use the auto cannon when I've got a las cannon and a heavy bolter available. What's the point? Well, that is what you would have got with Combat Patrol issue 75. Now that is a very, very, very small, short review for this issue because I can't put the bleeding things together. Thank you very much for the subscription, Mason. For some reason my chat doesn't seem to be working very well. I'm not sure why. So that's the end of my Combat Patrol reviews. It was very quick, wasn't it? Very, very quick. However, what Francois just said there is WIP Wednesdays, or Working Project Wednesdays, is not a bad idea. Because I do have loads of projects that I'm partway through that need finishing. Obviously, Thursday is the Orc stage. I'll be working on the Orc stage on Thursday from now on. And just to show you how far I have got with that, all the LEDs are in. All the chips are in, everything's soldered in, the wires are set up. Now, I am at a bit of a loss with this one though, because I'm at a certain point. So I can take Mr. Power Lead, and plug Mr. Power Lead in. Now, if I plug Mr. Power Lead into here, where it's supposed to go, and then push that button, you can see that is definitely working. There is power going to it. That is the Bluetooth section. So there is definitely like power going to the Bluetooth section. See? The problem is with this is that even though I've got power going to the Bluetooth section, and the power lead that doesn't wish to stay up here at the moment, when I connect everything else up, nothing else seems to bloody work. So let's power that off for a moment and unplug. So I have the LED light board, which is supposed to connect to here. See, one LED light board. I also have two speakers, which have been slowly collecting all the little snips off bits of pins because of the big magnets. But I do also have the two speakers that are wired up and ready to go. I do have an issue though. They don't seem to want to bloody work. Now the speakers go in over here on the back of this board here. So we pop that one in there, and then this one in here. Now if this works straight away, because I've just done it like this, I am going to be over the bleeding moon. But if it doesn't, because it hasn't been, let's face it, it has not been working, I'm going to have to find out what on earth is wrong with it. So first of all, I need to turn off my Bluetooth headset that I've been using. There we go. Bluetooth headset is powered off. Now, turn that on, and let's see if we can actually connect it. So now I should be connected to that Bluetooth thing. So, I'm not sure how, but hopefully we're going to see some lights moving up here. Nope. Dun 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 dun. Just looking at that makes me think that maybe the power's not quite right. So just looking at this, it is a power issue, and it looks like my power unit isn't connected properly. Now it's saying it's in use. And it is playing music, but nothing is coming through. I have no more room for capacitors. Now that I've done this, I've figured that at least my power cable is not quite it's wiggling, basically. It's not supposed to be wiggling. But I also believe that it is these two small chips, which just happen to be what connects to the speakers. Those are not good. So let's disconnect some wires and things. And I might have to try a little bit of resoldering tonight. I would like this to work, because if it works, that means I can run the song through it that Almoth has made for me. Now, you're all aware that I like doing ARC voices. That's not a mystery. But Almoth, who is another YouTuber who's quite good at his music, has took some of my samples as I've requested and put them into a song for me. So I want to be able to play that through this. Francois power supply might technically be enough for each component, but together something might be drawing enough to prevent the speakers from getting enough. That's the thing. It's a one and done kit, so everything comes in the kit for it to work. Now I've seen somebody else put the same kit together, and theirs worked. Now I've just got to figure out. Right, it's that back connection that's not working. So now that I've figured out which connection is wiggling from the power, I can kind of sort that out a little bit. And then see if there's anything else somewhere else that's being just as much of a pain in the rear end. So we get it into somewhere stable, and it's this small connector there. It's this connector here that's not connected properly. Not fun at all. So as opposed to it being a Combat Patrol stream tonight, it looks like we've moved on to Lazzy's fixing some of his hookups. Lazzy's definitely fixing some of his hookups. So as far as I tell, it's this connection here, and then possibly the two ridiculously small connections. Now the ridiculously small connections I am not happy with, because they were a pain just to do in the first place, never mind this time. I do not have a voltmeter. I have no idea if I've knackered a connection. Do I heatsink? Don't even know what that's supposed to mean. So no. What I do get is a really hot piece of metal and this little wiry stuff. That's what I do. See, once it's hot enough to actually melt this hot little metal, I know it's hot enough. And in some cases, it's probably too much solder that I'm actually putting on. Which is not a good thing, really. And I don't actually think this solder's as good as the other solder, which isn't. Is not a good thing. So in this case, I'm just going to try and melt what's on it and see if I can get it to go down into where it's supposed to go. So now that it stops moving that, right, that works. So if that's not moving that, does that mean that my Bluetooth connection stays on easier. Yeah, my Bluetooth connection is now staying on even if I move it. That's good. Now, when it comes to your question about connectors, that's going to be where these things come in, and they are really frigging small, and I don't like them. Just so I can put that out there now, they are stupidly small, and I don't like them. Now, I did try your put a bit on and drip it on method, Graham, that you advised me at the other night. So I was trying that. Only it doesn't do too much. Joey, have we got any news on whether or not you're making it over in time for me going down the aisle, or is it not the right time of the year for this time? Well, of course, I'm still gutted that I missed out on the McT one when he went down to London. I still wish I'd have been able to go to that one, but same reason why I can't come to see France with you. I'm going to be busy and it's going to be expensive. So that's what it's going to be. So let's try a little bit more solder on there. Ah! Buggered up my finger. I don't know which one was it that I wanted to make sure. See, now I've put too much on there. I need to try and take it off. Like that. Now I think that's got those connected. I don't know. That still is left a nice little white mark on my little finger, which has already gone hard, and it's burning like fuckery. But I think that's got those two chips in. So let's try again. So you want this board in here. I hope I'm actually getting these speakers the right way around. I don't think it makes a difference, but knowing my luck, it does. And let's try again. So I'll plug that in there. Bluetooth is on. Bluetooth is on. Let's just try unpairing that for a moment. And let's see if it pops up again and try pairing it again properly now that it's not. Okay. So it's saying I am connected to it. again, no volume and no lights. Volume is turned up. Yep. Is there anything daft like a power button? Yeah, there we go, there's a power button working. There's it saying the music's working. So let's try turning the Bluetooth off. Alright, so it's not working through a Bluetooth connection. Even though the Bluetooth connection says it was working. Let's try it through the jack. Nice crunch in there. I'm going to take it out of the case just in case the jack doesn't go in properly. It's saying it's connected via a jack now. It's playing through. And there is absolutely nothing. See, full volume on there. It is playing away. But I am getting no lights. And no, nothing, nada and zips. Now, have I put, I know this might sound stupid, but have I put the chip in the right way around for the actual, see, because there is this chip here, which there is the possibility that I've put this in the wrong way around. Getting it out is not going to be easy though. By any stretch of the imagination, have I put this chip in the right way round? It looks to be the right way around because it's got the little notch at that end. I mean, I can try it the other way if I can get it in, that is. Ooh. Let's try it the other way around just in case I did put this chip the wrong way. That is in. That is in. Okay. What I do need is one of them things that Graham was on about a minute ago. You know, the things that you've got to test, you can use to test with? I do know somebody with one, but when he lent me the soldering iron, he didn't. He didn't do anything, so. Okay, so why is my Bluetooth not working? Oh, there we go. Again, music's going through. They are not working. So let's close everything down, disconnect from the phone. Reconnect to my speaker. I probably do need a voltmeter. I'm going to have to speak to Ramrod, see if he's got one. Hopefully Ramrod does have one, so I can go borrow his. Used for media audio, yeah. Saying it's connected. I'm getting a blue light constant saying it is connected. See, the pause and the skip don't work. The power does. But the Bluetooth isn't working. Hello there. Hello. Well, do you know anything about electronics? Because I can't figure out why this isn't working. I don't want this to become Thursday night stream, because this is what I'm probably going to be doing Thursday night, is messing around with a lot of electronics. If not, I'm building a guitarist. So I do not want this to be that stream. However, now that I've said that, I do also wish to do the premiere, shall we say, of Almouth and Mai's Orc song that is designed for the Orc Stage project. So let's see if I can find that, so you can at least hear that. So I'm going to have to lower my mic audio and put desktop audio on for a moment. But this is going to be the song that is supposed to go through all this, if I can get it working.
Always ready to fight and win. Great is always the best. That's dead or not. You just get damage. More dagger. Dagger, 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 dagger. Go down, boys. Get crunky. Go down, boys. Get stuck in, boys. Go down, boys. Get crunky. Go down, boys. Get stuck in, boys.
See, now that was a nice little song, wasn't it? That was a nice little song. So I do have Almouth to thank for that. And while that was going on, I was looking for connections that I thought I might have screwed up. Now, there does maybe be a bit of heat damage on this chip, which is not good. As Graham has stated, you don't want to be frying the chip. No. The volume wheel seems to be working. Seems to be connected. All the buttons are connected. Power's connected. The Bluetoothy button is connected and the Bluetooth adapters are connected because we've seen it flashing and working. Now we're not too sure about the jack and why these aren't lighting up. I don't get why these aren't lighting up. So unless there's something already blown on this, I'm not sure. Now I do have spare LEDs, so if it's just one of these that's gone, I can replace it up to about 4 or 5. Any more than that and I need more LEDs. You are officially ready now? Holy crap, Graham. I mean, you got all your polishing, all your printing. You got your cat ball ready. You've got all your POS, all your signs, your layout planned. All that nice good stuff. Right, I still think that's actually on the wrong way around. I do. Because it's got a little notch there and the notch things at that end. But does that mean that I've put... No, because I followed the notch. I followed the notch. The notch said do that. I did it. Take this wire out. Move that back over there. Don't know what's going on with the LED board. Right, does anything wiggle on here? That's not supposed to. Nope. Just the connection. That comes out. That's nice and sturdy. They're all nice and sturdy. That is. Now I did have one of these pop out that I had to resolder back in. But that's back in. I've just been over with ones that I thought weren't connected of these. And they're now connected. Now unless some of those jack ones aren't actually making a full connection, which is possible. But I don't see that what would affect my speakers. Well, obviously it'll affect them going through the jack, but if it's going through Bluetooth, it shouldn't connect. It shouldn't have any problem. Roblox player, hello. Good evening. I'm sorry that you've got to play Roblox. As many lads will quite happily tell you, it's the one game that I really can't stand on this planet. Because it's not actually a game. It's a building block for games and they charge you digital currency. And I don't like microtransactions. Right, so that's that definitely in. I mean, I can't do much more with the power supply to keep it in place. It's where it is. It's got, crap, that's my thumb. There's no touching bits. All those are in. All those are in. All those are in. Now I don't think I'm supposed to put any solder in there because that's at the back of the chips and I don't think they're going to work like that. But everything seems to be in on this side. And everything seems to be in on that side. and connected well, which is the main thing. So what about here? I mean, there's a lot here going on. Now there is a possibility that I may have misconnected one or two of the LEDs, but let's face it, that's going to be an absolute pain to find the damn things. Like that one. And do my best to reconnect it. Ding, ding, ding. So, what did everyone think of the Ark song? If you were here for it. I don't think it was that bad. I think it was actually pretty good for what effort we both put in. I mean, mine was less than 10 minutes worth of samples, and Almouth did it on a day. So all the music on it was done really quickly. More because he forgot and rushed than anything else, but it still got done really quickly. Let's just try these, because there's a couple of connection points that look loose. No, where's that one gone? Ah, sugar. Well, that's one that looks like it needed more. Just more. As well as that one. Now, could it be some of these along here? Could have been, so let's just make sure. Again, just double checking there's no overlapping connections. And get a bit more solder on the bits where they're really small and don't appear to have any on. I don't appear to have much. I'm just going to try dropping some through the underside on the Bluetooth. Just to try and help seal that side up and make sure it's gone all the way through. No, it seems to be all the ones I can see. Now without a... what's it called again? A voltmeter. I'm going to really struggle with testing this. I stupidly struggle testing it. I need a voltmeter. Okay, I need a voltmeter. We've come to that conclusion. Can this work without the lights? That's a question, isn't it? Ding 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 a ding, ding ding a ding. Yes. No, this is the last combat. Well, Combat Patrol's finished for me. Reviewed the last issue that I got last week, and no more. No more. But no, I still want media or audio. And I want you to connect. And if this doesn't work, I'm going to guess it's something wrong with either the speakers. See, no, that's coming through. That's coming from my phone. I don't know when it's coming to my phone or when it's coming through those two speakers. Righty-ho, so we'll turn Bluetooth off and we'll try it once again with the jack lead. Because my phone can take a jack lead, which is good. I'm not one of those unfortunate people who do not have a phone that takes a bloody jack lead. So that's volume turned all the way up. That's powered off. That's powered back on. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Or why that's not working. No idea why that's not working. And again, thank you to the 2 subscribers tonight. It is very appreciated. Right, so the power's working. We can see this power. See? It's coming up on my Bluetooth as the MH-M18. You're not going to be able to connect to my let's unpair that and see what available devices pop up again. See if it gives me a different. I mean, I've got so many. In fact, I can unpair. Yep, I know there's you're not going to be able to connect to the Musicozy. It's turned off. M80, MH. Give it access to everything it wants. Bluetooth speakers. Right, so that's saying it's. Oh, wait a minute. Did that come up with something else then? Pardon me. Sorry. I'm sorry. That wasn't my fault. I'm not blaming it on anyone else, but it wasn't me either. So, Joey, between you and EB, have you found out if you're coming over? And this is just not for working via Bluetooth. Okay, that is a weird phenomena. That isn't working. Fair enough. I can't really do much about it right now because I don't want to unsolder everything and put it all back on. Is Twisted in? I don't think I've seen Twisted. No, I have not seen Twisted. It's just with me getting a message. I'm assuming he was in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a night for the night because it was Combat Patrol and I'm not doing much Combat Patrol and I never will be. Francois' idea of Whip Wednesdays is not a bad one at all. I'm just going to have to find projects to dig out and find out what to do with them. Once I've found half done projects, I can start doing on Wednesdays. But I'm going to have to dig out the half done projects and find out where they are. At this moment, I haven't got a clue. Well, saying that, I have. They're all in the big cupboard in there in one of the countless boxes. I know I have custom battle wagons to put together. I have a lot of work to do in the stage, so the electronics might get put to one side for a bit, so I'm not as stressed with them, and I'll carry on with the aesthetics coming tomorrow. But I do want to thank everybody who's been coming in for these Combat Patrol reviews. I am sorry that I won't be continuing them, but I haven't got a reliable source, so I can't guarantee each week I'll be here to be able to do it, or every fortnight when it comes to double issues. So that is a big letdown for me, and I don't wish to let you all down, but there's not much I can do apart from, well, go down every Wednesday and just hope they have an issue that is in, and then hope he's got the next one as well. It's not exactly the greatest way to try and run a channel, and it is supposed to be therapy, so adding loads of stress, then it's not good for therapy, isn't it? Cheers, Graham. I mean, if you ever get round to opening them, and going, do you want to read the stories? Here they are, including that Bonds of Honor. Then, by all means, bring them over. But I won't be buying any more from now on. Which means I've got to go out and buy a load of Khorne models. A Mauler Fiend, 20 Khorne Berserkers, and a Lord and Juggernaut. That should be fun. Let's see how much that's going to cost. Because we know it's going to be well over £100. Well over. Because we've got 14 issues left. It's about 140 quid. And we're due to start World Eaters very soon. So let's have a look at the window capture. And let's bring up... Well, let's go to Games Workshop. Because that's the main place, isn't it, really? I could proxy them. The Mauler Fiend or Forge Fiend, yes. I'd like to have Khorne Berserkers, though. So, which one are we looking at? We are looking at that one. So while we're on here, we want Warhammer 40,000, Chaos Armies, World Eaters. Pardon me. See, that wouldn't be bad if it wasn't Jackals and it was Khorne Berserkers, but it isn't. So just what I want. Oh, I had one of them. Oh, I had one of them. Oh, I had one of them. I'm going to customise my own Master of Executions. And we want to add one of them. Now, how much does all that come to? 182. 182 quid. And that's just to get what I want. Now, it is a discount getting it in Combat Patrol. I can't deny that. But there is also Element Games. Games Workshop. World Eaters. So that's the same Combat Patrol. We know that. What's this? Oh no, it's the 8-bound Maelstrom of Gore. What do you get with that? So you get 20 Khorne Berserkers, a lot of executions, and Kharn the Betrayer. Not exactly everything I wanted, but not a bad start, really. What's this? Rise of the 8-bound. So in that you get Lord Invocatus and 3 boxes of Exalted 8-bound. Don't want that. What I do want is 2 of them. Where's he gone? 1 of them. And you don't seem to have a Mauler Fiend. So let's go have a look at just general chaos. Space Marines. And see if they have the Mauler Fiend. So they have a Defiler. They do not have a Mauler Fiend. Oh, Forge Fiend. It's the same bloody model, isn't it? Yeah. So that was better as an overall. It's 154.76. So that's a big difference. between the damn near 200 quid. Now, Mauler Fiend, I could proxy. As I said, I'm going to build the Lord Executioners out of spare parts and other Chaos models. It's the Lord Executioner on Juggernaut. That's going to be the problem. Lord Executioner on Juggernaut. So the other option is, let's go to my other favourite site. ROGUES Rogues Den Hobbies. See, we can go Space Bears if we really wanted to. You see, you've got Space Bears on Cyber Cavalry. Has big claws, big guys riding big bears. I'm not going to use that because I've got LAS10 as my own code, which you're allowed to use that. That's there for this site, and you get 10% off pretty much everything at checkout. LAS10 is your code, and it'll get you 10% off. So I could proxy I could go for the mounted Space Bear Cavalry, but that would put more bears in. Now, all my other Space Bears, actually no, I do have 3 as the 8-bound daughter. So to be able to have these, Lord and Juggernaut, no arguing really, is there? There's no real arguing there if that's going to be a Lord and Juggernaut. Look at that. That is... I might have to do a bit of sanding, get rid of the bear sign, and put the corn sign up. But it is a possibility. It is a big possibility. That's a nice model. But then what do I do regarding the Forge Fiend or the Mauler Fiend? Is there anything under the Space Dwarves that could be a Mauler or Forge Fiend? No, nothing off the initial scan through. They look quite nice, but I don't think they're big enough. They would have to be a lot bigger, I think. Although I do like that hammer. Look at that hammer. Look at it. Oh, you don't like hammers. Where's that hammer on here? Oh, look at him. Look at those. Those are beastie hammers. See, that's a lot of stuff. That is a lot of stuff. But not quite Mauler Fiend or Forge Fiend, which is a shame. Ooh, resin dice. Oh, look at how pretty they are. Ooh. Oh. Graham, have I got custom colours? Let's just bring that up again. Graham, I see 5 sets of dice there. Oh, black and gold, marble and gold, blossom grey and rose gold. forged steel and old gold, and obviously those bright orange ones. But I've got custom. Thank you. Now I get to go buy more. Because I don't have any of them sets. Oh. No. I'm getting told no. Sparkles is saying no, I can't just go buy more just because I don't have them as colours. Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, thank you for everyone who's come to see me for these Combat Patrol reviews, as I've done for over the last, just over a year and a half. Sadly, it has come to an end today. Not the actual run. There's still about another couple of months left, just that I will no longer be covering it because they're unreliable. So, sadly, this is the last time you'll hear anything like story time with Laz or reviews or things like that. Francois did give me a good idea to do a Whip Wednesday, which for those of you who aren't in the hobby, it's work in progress or going back and sorting stuff out where it's been damaged. So I'll consider that for next Wednesday, or at least Wednesdays coming in the future. Tomorrow night is going to be work on the stage in one way, shape or form. I'll be putting the electronics away till I can get a voltmeter to test things, hopefully, and be working on the aesthetic. It's more at this point. Need a guitarist, need to build a stage, so I need to do a lot to do tomorrow night. Again, thank you all for coming. Please drive safe. And why not? One last time.
Jokes always better fun and win. Great is always the best. That's dead or not. You just get garbage. More dagger. Dagger, 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 dagger. Go down, boys. Get crushed.